Robert Mueller testifies this week on Capitol Hill. Here to talk about it, Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton. Welcome, Tom. All right, so
Thanks.
now it's been delayed, but now he's coming back this week, and he's scheduled to testify for 3 hours in front of Judiciary, 2 hours in front of Intel, and the Dems are saying that they're going to bring the Mueller report to life for the voters. What are they talking about?
I don't know. They're gonna have other people come up and do dramatic readings. I don't think so.
Well, they tried that already, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Look, Mueller, I think, is restricted about what he can talk about if he's following the rules and the law. So the smearing of Donald Trump will only get them so far. The Mueller report is really exculpatory in terms of President Trump. No collusion. They didn't make the case for obstruction. Now, Mueller's part of the coup cabal, so obviously he's going to be happy to talk and try to denigrate President Trump, but he's going to also have to answer questions for the first time about his conflicts of interest, about the political bias of his team, about those abusive early morning raids, about his use of the FISA court process potentially to spy on President Trump, and all the other abuses that we know about. And it's going to be an attack on President Trump, but I think in many ways the Republicans, I hope, are prepared to highlight the Spygate abuses and the targeting of President Trump that Mueller and his team happily engaged in. And engaged in terms of an abusive office. You know, he was hired because the Justice Department is supposed to have a special counsel so that people are confident in the fair administration of justice. Do you think does anyone think he did his job in that regard? Of course not.
Let me ask you this. We don't have a lot of time, but, you know, you and I, we're lawyers. The report is
I'm not a lawyer, Judge. You're the
okay,
lawyer.
You should be. You get more out of courts than anyone I know. But the report is the best evidence, the report itself. So can they go outside the four corners of that report? And who's going to object? I mean, if they ask about, you know, questions that aren't really about the report, the obstruction or the collusion. How do you do that?
If he can't talk about evidence that he hasn't put in a report, because I don't think that would be appropriate. He can be asked questions about his administration of that investigation. Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, those are the sorts of things, that's where the congressional oversight should be. Why is it that this investigation went on for a year and a half, even though everyone involved knew there never was any collusion and it was all fake to begin with?
Well, if we get an answer to that,
that's the sort of questions he ought to be asked.
If we get an answer to that, I'll buy you dinner. All right, we got to go now. They're telling me we don't have any time left. Anyway, Tom Fitton, thanks for all you do. We'll be right back.